quick aside, as I rush to type out the tweet here on my phone. First off, guys, do me a favor, get on Twitter, use that retweet button, hit that like button, all that good stuff. I learned my phone had the dumbest autocorrect last night as I embarrassingly sent a text to a girl. I tried to say something along the lines of, "Oh, I don't have that app on my phone." It got corrected to, "I don't have that app, Nympho email." I'm like,
oh,
I didn't mean to send that.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna say I don't have that ass on my phone, like you're asking for a butt selfie. Yeah,
get it, girl. Fix that. All right, it's game number 1 in a best of 5. I gotta change the overlay because it's not actually Rifkin and Zombie Grub. It's Rifkin and Maynard.
No.
Both.
You'll have to make do with who you have, really.
Well, I'll tell you what. I know that you're a man who can appreciate yoga pants, so I don't need to make do at all, Maynard. I'm glad to have you with me. It's game number 1 in this best of 5. To the top left, he's gonna be the Yellow Terran, Jyn Air's Cure.
Damn straight. Great to see Jyn Air pick up StarCraft 2 one more time, again this year as well. And in the bottom right, this is Rogue going for a proxy hatchery. So this looks like the Roach Ravager rush.
Oh, this is
the gas
so
going
sick.
down, pull going down. Yeah, this is really, really strong as well. Cure, one of the reasons I love Rogue is not only because he's extremely scary. Yeah, I mean, he's so good. He's an extremely scary late game macro Zerg, but he also can be really, really cheesy. So he's incredibly hard to predict and read. He is so hard to read as a you know, everyone's terrified of him because of how difficult he is to prepare against.
Well, there's actually another element to this too, and the fact is that these guys are teammates, and we've had this happen in almost every instance. I can't actually think of a single time in StarCraft 2 where being teammates hasn't been a factor in the game. You know each other's strategies, you've discussed strategies, like, it's not at all surprising that Rogue would shake things up in the first series of the day. Not necessarily because, oh, he wants to be cheesy, but it might also be because, well, Cure and Rogue know each other.
Yeah, they certainly do. They could even be friends, and this might be like a little bit of a meme thing, but of course BTSL is for money, so it does matter who wins in the end.
Yeah,
we got you know.
We got a $2,000 prize pool for those who don't know. We've already used up the first round of codes. I'm gonna see if we can get more for tomorrow if possible, but don't worry about the codes for today because we're rocking it. We'll also get paid by Twitch tomorrow, so you're gonna see a huge cash injection to that Maturino page. But man, I feel like doing something like this, no matter who dies, it's gonna be like that movie moment where, like, in another life, maybe we could have been friends.
Yeah, that's right. They wipe away a tear as they begin their final duel against each other. Respect their opponents, but they know that one of them has to die.
Well, surprise, Alien.
Hello?
You're the wrong unit.
Yeah, that's right. He low ground expanded and managed to finish the CC, which is good news for Cure, but the bad news is this all-in is coming and he is grossly unprepared. He's going to try and squeeze a Banshee out here. Banshee's going to be a great option against the Roaches and the Ravagers, but hopefully he can keep the Hellions alive against the Lings. And yeah, the big question is, will it get out? The Banshee takes a long time to build. He actually doesn't have the money for it either. And supply of depot goes down, which is supply blocking him. He does have 2 depots coming down the back, though.
Oh, I love this targeting down the reactor, knowing that there could be 2 Cyclones coming out at a time. I mean, Cyclone's great against Roaches, so against Ravagers. And the worst part about this is everything has this there's the threat that transfuse. No matter how low you get one of these units, the Roaches just morph into Ravagers and heal to full. The Queen uses transfuse onset Ravagers. But Cure, all things considered, holds this without a bunker so far, and that's already very impressive.
Yeah, I have to agree. And yes, like, Cyclones aren't amazing against Ravagers, but they're definitely the best unit that he can make at this point on the ground against them. He's trying to get as many as he can, and I think with 3 Cyclones and a handful of Hellions, if he's patient here, gets that Banshee out, I feel like he's going to hold on just fine, but he's not there quite yet.
And another big part of this, too, is knowing that your opponent's not mining much off this. You don't have to worry about that econ. Like, the fact that the command center is floating is annoying for your Cure, but he knows he can leave it floating.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Rogue is essentially one base because he's not droning that proxy natural, and it's very likely going to go down if Cure breaks out as well. So the Terran having a second CC to drop back down on means he's going to be in a gross advantage if he gets to that point. And keeping this reactor alive has been really, really awesome. Even though he's not producing 2 at a time anymore, it's been really, really sick because that's where all the biles have been going. They haven't been hitting his Cyclones.
I'm having a real epiphany moment here, Maynard. We realize repairs are just real, tiny, very slow transfuses.
They are. And they're consistent, though. Terran OP, question mark?
Oh, he's got to repair that. It's so close. I don't know why he's not. Okay, so
First Banshee is out.
Oh, he might lose the factory if he's not careful, too.
Yeah, don't want to lose that one. The CC, of course, he doesn't want to get that to catch on fire, but he's letting the Zerg come up the ramp a little bit here. Cure being very, very patient.
Rogue doing some really great work behind this, by the way. He starts droning, he's actually mining, but also, more importantly, starting A, Spore Crawler for that detection, and B, so much creep spread. Cure can't take his natural, even if he cleans up this army. He's got to burn scans, he's got to clean up tumors. There's a lot of time invested into actually taking this base. He's going to get a couple Overlord kills.
If he gets a scan on the natural right now, he can clear up the 2 tumors that are blocking his CC. There it is. And now, well, I mean, not now, but in a minute when the creep clears up, he should be able to drop that. And I feel like Cure's in a pretty good spot, dude. I'm very happy about his situation.
As long as he doesn't throw it with this engagement, eating too many corrosive vials can go south very quickly. Double Banshees picking away at the army, and of course those Cyclones will hammer away at anything they get their hands on. Get a little bit tight with some of these corrosive vials, but he is dodging them.
He is indeed, and nice control from Cure as well, keeping those important units alive. Does lose one of those Banshees, the second one is still alive though. The Queen's getting low, and they're out of transfuse energy now. Only one left, doesn't use it. The Cyclones look to be high enough in count to fight this back.
Of course, if this base goes down, the drones are going to go down with it. They could try and run away, but those roaches popping out are going to be popping right into the range of these Cyclones. Immediately just melted, dead on arrival.
Oh man, doesn't even kill the Cyclones either. GG, beautiful hole, beautiful game from Cure.
I'm actually watching the BTSL Rifkin and Maynard coming at you. It's the first best of 5 today. And spawning here in the upper right is going to be none other than the not-so-proxying Red Zerg Rogue.
Pleased to see he's building stuff back at home right now. And in the bottom left here, also from Generic Green Wings, this is Cure with a beautiful game 1. Thank you, Black Spade Kamui, for another 1,000 bits. Ohio.
5K, you say? Let's get it. Dude, if we actually hit that, that'd be super cool. Real quick note, by the way, if you guys are just continuing with the sake of transparency here, because I want to make sure everyone's on the same page, no scamerinos, no schemazing. If you want to donate to the players on their behalf for the prize pool, you can do that through the Matcherino page. There's no like BaseTradeTV tax like there has been in the past year. It's just straight up a year-end special. We want to give the players as much money as possible. Before we even put in our injection, I think of $1,600 or so, we're already almost at $300 raised. So big thank you to all those. You got 47 is throwing in 11 bucks, Lazy Taro with 5, Zergling Pool Party with 5, Theridin with 25, and Zaros 12 with $31. Not to mention all the countless promo codes you guys have helped us build up with. And I'm hoping I can get you guys some more codes before the end of the tournament, because we got another group tomorrow, we got a round of 8, and the grand finals all still on deck for this.
Heck yeah, dude. Plenty more StarCraft, plenty more opportunities to fatten that prize purse. Feels good, man.
Prize purse? What are you, European? Who says it like that?
I mean, there's lots of words for lots of things.
Do you keep the tinier prize pools in your clutch?
Yeah, it's where I keep my vagina.
Okay.
My little clutch bag.
Oh my. Oh my. Alright, well, Rogue might not be doing anything super duper cheesy, but he is getting the 6 links to come across the map. This is still, I'd say, a little bit abnormal, but perhaps worried about something coming his way, because there's no way these lings are going to hit that timing to kill the command center. Blackpink is much longer than it looks, and yeah, as we can see here, Cure's already going to have those Hellions coming and good to go.
Yep, same build as last time. Fast expand with the Hellions. Pretty common for most Terrans to be doing that these days. And yep.
It's really interesting to me, but I want to get your take on it, because obviously people hear my opinions all the time on the channel, but freaking non-stop has it been like versus Protoss versus Zerg. Like Hellions have really become the staple opener nowadays, and it's not even a question of like, do you get them? You get them. What are your thoughts?
They're even in TV2. They're even in TvT right now. There's a lot of builds that actually get a reacted factory out and get a few Hellions out. I do it in TvT as well, but it's actually getting a Cyclone and a Hellion. Interesting.
Huh. I wonder if this has a little bit of influence from last game, or if he's actually just playing to do this. TY was doing some very interesting builds where instead of like the straight up Hellbat push, he was doing like a 3 Marine Medevac Hellbat with 1 odd Cyclone push. If Cure's doing the exact same build, first off, just cements how much I love TY even further. But secondly, it was really effective. The one little extra cyclone makes up for not having the extra 6 or whatever Marines you would normally have with the push.
Yeah, I mean, a cyclone can definitely make up its make up a Marine count just on them by itself. I'd rather have a cyclone than 5 Marines, put it that way. They're pretty good. Oh, Overlord just maybe missed that medevac on the edge there before it boosted away. I think it may have missed it.
Well, you know what? At least
on
Rogue does have creep spread coming, which is big. Because trying to get to this 3rd base with no creep spread, good luck with that. Your queen's gonna be so late to the party. But instead, they're already here. They've made nachos, Maynard.
They did. Nachio's base. Get out of here, Terran.
Ah. Mozzarella.
That supply block's a little bit annoying, but Rogue already has 18 link, so he'll be just fine here if he gets all of his forces together.
The armory actually is not timed out for this, so he doesn't have Hell Bats, but the Hellions are still helping deal with these links. He's picking up with the Marines, trying to save that Cyclone. Nice moves out of Cure. Oh man, that Cyclone's on emo.
That was sick. Beautiful control from Cure. He had great micro in game 1, man, and I'm actually starting to, I gotta say, I'm slightly starting to get a little bit of, you know, I'm starting to grow love hearts in my eyes for Cure, just from this series alone.
But you didn't already have them? Dude, my heart's a flutter.
No, I didn't. I didn't. He's actually, yeah, he's getting a little hot under the collar, man. I'm starting to breathe heavier watching Cure play TvZ.
You sure that's not the nachos? All right, so yesterday's group was by far my favorite of the 4, but this is without a doubt a very, very close second, because while we had Gumiho, TY, Solar, and Stats yesterday, we got Rogue and Cure, which is already putting a pretty good match for us, but Keen and Sue's after this too. And Keen has actually been showing some phenomenal TVT. In fact, he recently beat Cure, the people images King of the Hill. I don't know if it's going to have a TVT today, but that's going to be a really good series if that ends up being one of the matchups.
Yeah, we will see. Keen's been streaming a lot lately. I've been enjoying watching his stream as well. So, just for you guys out there, he's SE2 Keen on the Twitch, if you want to check him out.
Oh,
bit of an Overlord poop to be annoying here. This is pretty cool.
This is beyond annoying, though. He actually, okay, he's not going to stay on it. He's following the Starport. I was going to say, blocking out that tech lab for a swap, though. Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, that's really smart, too. That's not something I've seen before. That's a lot of Ravages just popping right now. The Hellbats are coming through. Though. Yeah, Hellbats and also a Cloak Banshee here. There is an Overseer, thankfully, to get mobile detection on that Banshee, but it is just the one.
Man,
main thing he's going to try and do is... Oh!
Yellow and black looks so good on these Hellbats, man. I'm sorry, I got really distracted. Like, that is just straight up sexy Bumblebee status.
It is. It's literally the Bumblebee thing. I mean, it's a little bit more Mad Maxy, but... There we go. He's actually getting a lot of drone kills here. 11 now. Did lose most of his army, but yeah, 11 drone kills and denying mining time, that's not bloody bad.
That's my fear with this, because he has seen with the Overlord that the factories only just went down. He knows that it's a slow mech build-up. Rogue going for a counterattack is a good move, because he knows, like, he has seen, confirmed with his eyes through that Overlord, there's no tanks.
Yeah.
Not yet.
That was, you know, for you guys that were wondering why the Overlord was pooping on that factory, and we brought it up without sort of continuing on it, is that he couldn't switch over the factory on that tech lab with the creep there to make the tanks, which he really, really needs against the Sonic unit composition.
He's debating trying to poke away at that command center. I could have broken the wall. I love what Kier's done here, though. Recognizing the threat of roaches, missile turrets already down. We actually cast quite a few games where roaches burrowed into the natural, into the main, like, have cost Terran players their lives on countless occasions. They
have. And I actually am a little bit in love with Cure, not with just Cure, but with Rogue as well. So my heart has actually got room for 2 players right now. Just to pull back, to not overextend, not try and poke the wall too much, to actually spread that creep and just concentrate on his infrastructure, and he's doing just that. Now I retract my love. 8 Swarm Hosts. I just really feel like Swarm Hosts are in a bad spot in the game right now. I don't like Swarm Hosts at the moment in ZVT.
You know why, Maynard? You haven't had the pleasure of watching folks like Denver or Cyril or a Laser, really, who... I hate to say it, it's so elitist, and it's such a weird version of elitism, but I swear to God, it's like day and night. Some of the Korean players just don't handle their swarm hosts well. I look at this for Rogue, and I'm wondering how he's going to use them. Because, frankly, it's been awkward, and I love Solar to death, but like I wasn't impressed by his swarm host play. I haven't been impressed by Impact swarm host play. But then you got some of the Europeans who just, they've got it down pat. So I'm really curious how Rogue's gonna look, because we haven't. I can't actually remember the last time I saw Rogue go Swarm hosts.
Probably BlizzCon was the last time I remember him doing it. And yeah, you know, and since BlizzCon, mech's been buffed and Swarm hosts have been nerfed. Like the movement speed rather is the fact that it's been nerfed. Obviously the Locusts still do damage, the cooldown's still the same. But mech's been sort of indirectly buffed, and it's and Swarm hosts were already kind of getting beaten by mech players.
Okay, so first off, already loving what we're seeing out of Rogue. He's actually microing the Locust, so that's a good start. Downside, though, he does use all of them up immediately, so he doesn't stagger the waves, but that's okay for now. Beyond this, he's actually, by investing in these earlier, you have a much higher chance of making these Swarm hosts worthwhile, guys. 45-something seconds. Is it 43, I think, actually, is the exact cooldown of these Locusts? Trying to find what's off cooldown. Yeah, 43 seconds. So, really, if you consider it, if you make these too late in the game, you're only going to get to use them 3 or 4 times. Making them 10 minutes in for what is a possible 20-minute game, you're going to get some pretty good use out of those Swarm hosts.
Man, Black-Pink is one of the biggest maps in StarCraft 2 history, and it already is like halfway controlled by Rogue by this creep spread and Overlord spread. It's so nice to see a player that's this good at creep spread while macroing as well. He's got +2 attack on the way, which is obviously going to help out the Swarm hosts and also the Roaches and the Ravages. And he's made 16 Swarm hosts, so that's a lot of Locusts here. It's up to Cure to get a good Hellbat count to protect these tanks.
He's already got a pretty good count on top of this. This is what I was talking about. He doesn't have that blue flame yet. Doesn't have that good. But the Locusts do distract the tanks, so they don't annihilate the tank line. About 3 or 4 go down to this.
Yeah, and I mean that's basically free units. So every time you pick off a tank, that's it's a lot of money that the Terrans put into producing those. And meanwhile, the Zerg just pulls back on the creep.
Oh man,
happy with their damage.
So here's the argument, though, right? Locusts are free units. Their only real cost is the cooldown, which is time. And time is money, friend. So are they really free?
Yeah, and then you have to actually pay for the Swarm host, which makes the free units. You can't get Locusts without making Swarm hosts, which cost money.
Swarm hosts are basically like stocks with risky investments.
They are. They're very supply intensive and not super cheap. That's a lot of Hellbats. And they have blue flame now, so
cleanse the infidels.
Burn them in holy fire. Oh, leaving an opening here at the CC. He lifts it. May not have needed to, though. And turn that into a planetary.
By the way, while this has been going on, we missed Envision Spartacus. Thank you for that sub earlier. Welcome to the channel. Enjoy sub-only mode for the next couple days. The most elite we've ever been on the channel.
Yeah, this is obviously not a ploy to... well, I suppose it's not obvious to everyone, but this isn't like a... You gotta sub to speak.
Did you hear about what happened yesterday, by the way?
Probably not. I'm really bad at keeping my finger on the pulse with happenings in the community.
Alright, well, I'll get into it in just a sec. We got a big drop going over here with a lot of Roaches. Might not be Tunneling Claws sneaking into the main, but the Roaches still annihilate workers if they get the opportunity to. And frankly, for Rogue, it's like giving away supply, just trading it out efficiently. He doesn't need these Roaches. Locusts continue to cause havoc and chaos at the front, a literal ring of smoldering corpses. But the Roaches have forced off a lift. They've killed 2 gases, which is huge for a mech player. Yeah. This drop did a lot of damage, and got Banlings rolling in, looking to just kill everything in this SCV line. Cure! Oh no!
That's a lot of dead SCVs and a very, very hurt CC. If he had enough files behind that, he could have burned that down like he favored it. But damn, that's quite a few SCV kills. Cure's not dead at the moment, but he's taken a lot of damage.
I forgot Rogue does this. It's been so long since we've seen Rogue on the channel. This is a guy who his preferable response to anything Terran is 50 Banelings at a time. So we see 44 Lings coming out, and you might be wondering, like, why Zerglings against mech? That sounds like a terrible idea. But the reality is, like, it doesn't matter what the player's composition is. If you got enough splash damage, you're gonna do some real damage. And this is gonna be about 50 Banelings. Yeah,
like, if your army is on the ground and you have enough Banelings, eventually the Banelings will get through it.
Yeah. Sure, you'll lose like 90% of them, but sometimes you only need that last 10% to connect. Thank you to the Rabbit22 for that Prime sub. But these tanks are not sieged up, and the Hellbats are on the front line.
Oh, man, Cure's going to lose everything here.
I love the splits out of Cure, but it comes like too little too late. But the big thing is, by picking off these Hellbats, that gives more power to the Locust. It gives more power to these Zerglings to get the surrounds on the tanks. Blue Flame is good, but it's not going to carry you through this many Swarm hosts.
And that's the reason why he made those banelings, because he wanted those Hellbats dead. And he takes an incredible engagement there, catching Cure with his pants down. This Planetary and Tanks is going to hold nicely against the Planetary, but he is going to take damage. And Rogue, of course, is target firing. Down go the tanks.
Of course, Swarm Hosts actually have so much damage they could tear through their SCVs trying to repair that because there's no building armor yet. But realizing, oh, small hiccup. Hope that wasn't me. Realizing this, he starts his own building armor because he's going to need it if he wants to stay alive through this harass. But I was going to say, on the note of sub baiting, we actually reached a new milestone yesterday, 1,600 sub points. We unlocked another emote slot, Maynard. I don't even know what to do with it because I wasn't prepared for this.
I think it's time for a Maynard emote. We have 11 Mutalisks being made by Rogue as well, which is pretty sick because there are 0 Thors.
Oh my god, you're right. This is such a sick tech swap. I mean, Vikings will get the job done for a small period of time, but as we can see here, they're struggling to keep up with this. There are some turrets scattered around the map for mostly detection purposes, so not really anti-air purposes. Cure's just gonna tap out. Man, he got him number 3. Things have been tied up 1-1 at this point. Thank you for watching this commercials and joining us this morning. Quick reminder that we have subscriber-only emote on, not to be dicks, but because we want to avoid spoilers. So it doesn't combo well with the fact that we're on the front page, but for those coming from the front page, good morning and how are you? Spawning here to the top left, we have the blue Zerg player, none other than Rogue.
Yeah, tied up the series against this kid, his teammate, also from Generic Green Wings, the Terran player. This is Cure.
All right, one of the big things, the key things for me is Cure went mech, something all Terran players are doing right now. But we didn't see Rogue falter. I don't think there was a moment of panic in that game. He had total control of the situation. You brought it up, the creep spread on the map. Like, I really like Cure, and obviously as a Terran, I'm voting for Cure here, guys. But I was so impressed by Rogue's play last game.
Yeah, when you see Zergs like Rogue take the map like he did, you're just like, they actually don't look beatable. You're like, what do I do? Do I drop and lose everything to Queens and Spores, or all the vision of this creep makes you be able to pounce my drop immediately? Like, what do I do? Do I go on the creep and get surrounded by links? Yeah, I mean, you assume the fetal position, you try not to cry, and then you cry. Like,
cry a lot.
And then you cry a lot, yeah.
Well, Cure, I actually... It's kind of crazy. This is why I can't help, like, you guys can probably hear the smile on my face right now because game 1 from Cure was so well handled on Rogue did, and Rogue did was a little bit weird. Rogue in game 2 so well handles what Cure did, and what Cure did was not weird but dangerous. So I love that both these guys have given us such a good match to start off the day. Yeah,
we're coming out of the gate swinging here, man. This is a damn good series to start things off with. I'm really, really glad that they actually seem to be pretty closely matched as well. I would have expected Cure to I would have expected Cure to kind of get beaten up by Rogue here, but not the case. It's tied up.
And Big Brother as Rogue mentioned, Rogue.
Yeah, thank you, Rogue Senpai. As mentioned, like in game 1, if you guys missed that, Rogue is just such a master of every single style of Zerg play that it's cool to see different styles game to game. We'll see what he does in game 3 though.
Well, what's kind of interesting is we got these Zerglings kind of roaming around the map. I thought they were going to try and dive in and get the command center. I guess SCV, kill, cancel, whatever you want to call it. But nope, just chilling back. Also, thank you for more of the bits, guys, coming in. Black Spade Camo says it's okay if you cry, Riff. We won't judge you too much.
And then Boss says
lies. That is the perfect use of the backstab emote. Gotta say.
It is, yeah. I'm a big fan of these animated bits emotes you got going here. You're on a pretty tight ship here, Rifkin.
It works well for the bit boss, man. I was actually surprised. I was talking to Roddy the other day. He had no idea what cheer motes even were. I'm like, dude, you stream like every day, man. How do you not know? These are so fun. You got to make them.
Yeah, Roddy's got a lot of subs. He's put more hours in Twitch than most individual streamers, except for, I guess, maybe Pig now. Because, god damn it, I don't know how he does it.
Pig has been killing it.
10 hours a day. He's gotten like 400 subs in the last 3 months. Like... That's how fast his channel's growing. Anyway, it's greatly deserved. But anyway, we have the Overlord of Rogue coming without Overlord speed, just poking in, seeing that there's a third CC. He sees that the tech lab is spinning, so he confirms that there is going to be bio play here from Cure.
There was something Gumio had done yesterday that I doubt we'll have the honor of seeing again. But man, he did this like double engineering bait, double armory, like
yeah,
square super passive sick play. I know it's like asking for a lot, but it'd be so cool if Cure could pull that off too.
It's like the hybrid. You absolutely can't afford to go bio and mech at the same time and afford both those things. But yeah, he was getting upgrades, getting upgrades on for bio and for mech units. Gumiho is, I mean, part of the reason why Terrans love him so much, and just everyone loves him. He is such a mad scientist. Sometimes his explosions blow up in his face. His experiments blow up in his face.
Well, what's so sick for me about that particular series, just as a bit of a callback, guys, is that the last time I remember a Terran player really executing that well was like back in the day with MMA. Like it's been a while since anyone's done something so sick in my eyes. So it was a cool, refreshing reminder that there's Terran hope out there. But getting back, of course, to what's happening in this game, Double Junior Base, as Maynard pointed out, like the Overlord has once again confirmed that there wasn't some sort of weird mind game through this, that it is in fact going to be bio, and the third base is heading out on location.
Yes, indeed. So we're seeing a switch up of styles again. God, we are blessed in the series, dude. Every single game's brought us something different completely from both players, so this is pretty sick. We've got a layer on the way with melee upgrades going down for Cure, so this is actually kind of looking like Lingbane Hydra.
What a surprise. I can't believe it.
What a shock.
Hydra in 2017?
This is insane, Rifkin. I cannot believe the Zerg is making Lingbane Hydra against like, Terran Bio.
Mic check. Is this the guy? Like,
yeah.
Okay, so as much as we're being a little bit sarcastic here, guys, it's great because it is a catch-all build. Like, you really, it doesn't matter whether it's mech or bio, you can get away with it. And as Rogue displayed last game, and we'll probably see this game, I don't know what unit people associate Rogue with. I go with Banelings, though, just because when Rogue gets ahead of macro, dude comes in with endless waves of, not like, here's 10 Banelings, it's always like 50 Banelings at a time.
Yeah, picking off that hatchery is quite nice, though, with this little force here.
And a couple Creep Tumors gets another Overlord. This has been really good for Cure so far. Nothing game-winning, but this was a lot of pickoffs.
Yeah, definitely damage, and it's damage for free. All he did was take a bit of damage on the medevac health. Means no problem.
Well, Maynard, medevacs, they heal up and they regenerate energy over time, and as we learned last game, time is money, so it's really free.
Yeah. I can hear you like pushing your glasses up the bridge of your nose. While you say that.
Literally did that. I literally did that.
Pick up! Thank you.
Because we got, pleb chat out for today. Rip non-subs. I just got to make the comments on their behalf. I got you guys. Don't worry.
That's right.
Oh, he could get some of these Banelings. There are slow Banelings.
Yeah.
Oh, they're kind of off creep too. Perfect situation almost. He can focus them down if he's so good, but he's gonna pick up. Just play it safe.
Still hasn't lost any Marines. He's picked up a bunch of Banelings in a hatchery and he's reinforcing with another 2 medevacs. That's 32 Marines, Rifkin.
The only thing he's lost so far is a single Reaper. This is really good for Cure as far as starting, but let's not forget he can also lose all this to like one amazing Baneling connection. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself for either player, but that's a lot more Marines simming through.
Baneling speed about to finish up.
Focus. Oh, he gets all the Banelings, but he still takes a big hit just at the very end. So 32 becomes less than 10 very quick.
Yeah, that Baneling speed finished immediately, like during that engagement for Rogue. That hurt Cure there. Losing all their Marines means he's lost his harassment potential, so he has to pull back. He's getting 2-2 though. Rogue's upgrades are very far ahead of the Terrans though, and they are looking strong. It's Hydra o'clock, Rifkin, and they make things a little bit tougher for a guy with just Marines.
I think every hour is Hydra o'clock in this matchup. Gets a queen. Couldn't transfuse. She went for it. You saw her in the windup.
Yeah, she was thinking about it. Didn't commit though. So typical of women. 2017. Oh
wow!
Pick up.
Maynard
does get it now.
The only thing greater than Maynard's hype he brings to a matchup is the respect he has for women.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. The fairer sex indeed.
Alright, Marines up to the north side again. Another Overlord here. Rogue, not exactly being careless with this, but more that Cure is just all over the place and being very attentive. He may have lost some Marines, 24 to be precise, but 6 Overlords have died, and that's without a Viking.
Yeah, look at all the army supply for the Terran here. A lot of it's in tanks and bio, and he's reinforcing, and it's a pretty strong-looking army. And he's got 2 factories with Tech Labs already producing siege tanks, so that's the amount of factories you need for this kind of unit composition. Rogue is heading towards tier 3, so Cure, it's up to Cure to try and shave into this drone count. He's doing just that.
Even if he doesn't shave into this too much, he saw the infestation pit cooking up. He knows Hive is going to be on deck. because it is bio, you want ultras, so this was a pretty good scout to know that there wasn't a really fast hive. I mean, some players can go as fast as like a 6.5 minute hive. So to know that this is going to be the mid game for a little bit longer, is a bit more power to this push. He doesn't have to worry about ultras popping out, surprise motherfucker style. And I think with these tanks, he's going to be okay zoning, but this is still so many Banelings, and these are so many Hydras. Engaging this for either side is going to be very difficult.
Yeah, the siege tanks go back a little bit, but there's not as many tanks as you'd like to be very, very safe against this many Hydras. It is kind of a weird spot for the Zerg, though. If he pulls down this little choke point, the Terran can actually mince him up to pieces, especially with his pre-spread and this sort of leapfrog of units that he's got here, reinforcing this 2 tanks at a time as well. Already producing Liberators, getting ready to get that count out for when the Ultras pop out.
So both players are handling this so sick right now. First off, Kier's trying to bait out little trades while he leapfrogs the tanks forward. Love that. However, Rogue's will also wait until he had those Banelings on deck. While his first wave may or may not go down, he's got another wave of Banelings already on the front line, crashing for the bottom side. Hydras for that surround. Kier gets completely sandwiched in here and ultimately destroyed.
Yeah, like I mentioned, the weakness of the Zerg is that little choke point, but you can circumnavigate that by setting up a flank, and Rogue did exactly that. Takes a beautiful engagement, doesn't want to overextend here. Wouldn't be surprised if he pulled back on a creep now.
I love it. Most good Zerg players can take an engagement, but only great Zerg players can surround for it, and that was not easy to set up. But sneaking around Cure, oh my god, this Hydra's sneaking around Cure through all this. The big thing isn't that Cure was broken on the front lines. It's not that Rogue took or lost that fight. Hell, Rogue could have lost this base, and he would have been fine, because all of this was leading up to him getting Hive Tech behind this. And right now is supposed to technically be the weakest point for any Zerg player in this transitionary period. Instead, Rogue looks so strong, and Cure, rightfully so, he's playing defensive in the middle of the map, when he really should be putting pressure on one of these bases, but he can't.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of his units here. If he took a much better engagement, he certainly would have the ability to do so, but as it stands, Ivana will look for another one here. This is a choke point, so Terran's in a strong position, but it looks like Rogue might just have overwhelming numbers. The Baneling's connecting with the Marines as well.
Just taking out those Liberators fairly easily, but looks like there's just enough left on the round. Cure's gonna fall, or Rogue's gonna fall back. He needs more Banelings.
Yeah, he certainly does. He's reinforcing here. 36 more Lings on the way, 10 more Banelings being just to the back here, out of range of the Terran. His hatchery is taking a beating, though. He wants to keep that alive for sure. Doesn't look like he'll be able to, though.
This wasn't a pivotal base. He was taking another one up here to make up for it after all, so that one's about halfway done. He can transfer the drones over. I'm actually a little bit worried for Rogue, more on his bank than anything else, though, as we see he's got a lot of Larva to spare. Larva's not the reason he's not taking these fights.
Vipers coming in and abducting these tanks and Liberators, doing a good enough job here. Some of the Liberators still alive. The Marines still high enough in count to engage the Banelings and the Lings as well. Rogue's trickling in a little bit. He may just have enough now. Oh, reinforcements from Cure actually stimming through the middle of the map, even without medevac support. They're just stimming in to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, both players are trickling, but GG. This is that weakness I was talking about. Rogue was so desperately trying to get towards those Ultras. Never got match point. Not over yet, but almost, as this guy leads 2-1. To the top left, we've got the yellow Terran, Cure.
And in the bottom right, the BlizzCon champion. This is Jin Green Wings' Rogue.
100 bits for the cringe. Yeah.
For the cringe.
Yeah, it's a shame because I think we all have a good and probably similar understanding of the concept of what cringe is. But I don't know that there's any person out there, myself included, who could properly personify that into like emoticon form. I would love to make like a proper cringe emote.
Yeah. How do you without like just writing the word cringe, what do you do?
Put a picture of Rifkin.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I know a lot of people are joking around about the Wubs emotes. Actually, there are several emotes we still have to axe. Like, for example, Ace is super temporary and not a permanent thing. I've actually contacted Hirona. If you guys recognize that name, then you are OG base trade fans. But I've contacted Hirona, who I haven't worked with in years, about making a raid emote. So I'm really excited about that. And then a lot of people are requesting a Wub emote. We may try and make that happen at some time. But I also wouldn't be too opposed to actually putting a main art emote in there, since you so much you're here so often. God damn it!
Oh no, I was joking, but if you do, I'll be honored. The I like what 47ness says there. Fun fact: people who type cringe never actually cringe IRL. A lot of the people that type LOL in chat don't actually LOL when they type it.
You know what kills me?
Mind's blown.
I grew up my whole life thinking that LOL, and I'm talking until like 2 years ago, guys, okay? I thought LOL stood for lots of laughs. So you'd be like, haha, that's pretty funny. I'm not, like, you're not indicating that you laugh out loud. I thought people would just say laugh out loud because they're being, like, I don't know, snobbish or douchebaggy. I didn't realize the actual acronym was laugh out loud until like a couple years ago. Because, I don't know, lots of laughs in my mind made more sense. And still kind of does in a way.
I mean, they both mean the same thing. But, a little bit of Reaper harassment here. It's a lot of lings for Rogue. Usually more lings than you'd expect, but he is getting speed as well. We had to bully this back with a third hatchery. Yeah, generally the lings...
Sorry, go on. Chat? Yeah, I'm laughing at chat.
Yeah. With the, I almost laughed as well at Bits and Bytes, like my buddy Wade. It's like the LMAO with the
stern
with the
face.
No bullshit face. Yeah.
That Jimmy is like LOL, quick exhale of the nose. Yeah, I exhaled slightly harder than average at that joke. Yeah. LOL. But yo, we got bits on bits still coming in. 47 has another thousands also for the crit, and then Blacksmith Camo, he comes in to say at 47 is unacceptable. As these guys trade out health bars on the Bit Boss, but also throwing bits towards my mom, so I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much.
You're all a bunch of cool kids. I mean, you're here already, so that means that you're automatically heading towards the cool factor, but dropping the bits as well, well, it just seals the deal. We got those Overlords coming in here for a bit of a scout. Doesn't see too much, but he does see Hellions on the ground with that Ling, which is more important. Didn't get to see the armory or anything like that, or if there was an armory, rather. Not that there is one, but...
Well, this is kind of interesting. So Cure is going for a Viking, which is nice, because he hasn't gone for them in the previous games, but at the same time, Rogue actually very much in the style of a laser. Whoa, comparing Rogue to a foreigner, I know. It's only sent the one Overlord out for scouting. He doesn't actually have a bunch of Overlords to pick off. Last game, it wasn't too much the case either. It was more that the Marines were so aggressive they were getting on top of the Overlords that were home. So this Viking should not get that usual. Like, I'm not sure what's happened, by the way, but seriously, since patch 4.0, we're seeing these Vikings come out with like 5 and 6 kills when the average used to be like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I remember last time we cast a Viking getting a ton of kills. Oh, not the last time we cast, but the last time I cast, rather, on my channel, my bad. Because there's no Terrans in the last few things we've cast.
Right?
The old laugh cry.
It's like, there's only 2 times in your life when you're allowed to cry. When you're a baby, and when there's no Terran in the tournament.
That's right. When you're a baby and when you're fucking 30 years old and your race isn't even represented in tournaments anymore because it got patched out of the game. And in all seriousness... Terran pretty holding on strong. We have a tied series here, so Cure is doing a very good job against one of the scariest players in the whole world. And he is transitioning into double factory.
Okay,
after
so it's
making
gonna be
his
Mac.
armory, and yeah, it's gonna be Mac. He has some Cyclones out with Cloak as well for these Banshees. So I was gonna say, where is that push at? There it is.
So Overseer's out to deal with this. The Banshee's already got about 4 drones, 5. Not too bad. He pulls it back to keep it alive. Jojo Power Ranger. Oh man. I love the name. I love the memes. Thank you for the sub. And then, can we talk about how Maynard is just the worst caster ever, guys? Like, I couldn't stand him and Total Biscuit casting together at BlizzCon, and now I can't stand him complaining about Terran despite Cure being up 2-1 in the series.
Yeah. I mean, I'm literally a scumbag. Probably the worst caster of all time.
We actually had a pretty good discussion, I want to say about a week back, about that whole debacle. Maynard and Total Biscuit combo at BlizzCon.
Yeah, that was the best combo at BlizzCon, I gotta say.
That was the worst combo. I couldn't stand it, man. I couldn't believe they put you guys together.
It's really unfortunate because me and Total Biscuit put so much time and effort into making sure that our synergy would be good as well. We did prep together and, you know, spend every night together in our hotel rooms and our jammy jams and our fluffy bunny slippers, just sitting there over VODs and poring over our notes.
Just for the record, for those who are not in the loop, Maynard and Total Biscuit never cast together, but people were convinced they did and were very critical of their series.
It's really funny.
So it's the stupidest thing. But it's also at the same time for me, I'm like, this is the perfect representation of fucking Reddit, dude, right here. I swear to God. Like,
this is our StarCraft right here.
Bunch of stupid 2-gate memes and Total Biscuit Maynard memes. All right, top side.
I love the 2-gate memes. The 2-gate memes are good though. I like it.
I liked it the first 200 times. The attack is going to commence. This is a lot of Hellbats. This isn't a small force. And that Banshee attack on top of this, they're actually going to get away. The Queen's going to fall. Oh, to the Hellbats, which means that Banshee gets to just rain hell from above on the roaches.
She sure does. Banshee screaming. She's getting the work done. And these roaches, I mean, they are able to motor around, but this hatchery is just going to get tapped up over and over again. Where are those queens at? Get on down there. There's an overseer to get the job done. Don't lose that hatchery, Rogue. There she goes. There she goes again. Get it.
So it's weird to consider the attack out of Cure really still did the job here. I don't think the intent was to kill the hatchery. It was more like a bonus if he did. But he used the Hellbats to kill the Queens, allowing the Banshees a little bit more leeway to get in there, but also disrupting what is possibly creep spread and larva injects and what have you. And looks like Liberator's coming in here to just kind of salt the wound.
What's up? I'm a Liberator. Phew. Damn. This is I'm sorry that I'm actually just making sound effects, guys. I'll cast the game eventually, I promise. I'm just I'm in a good mood.
Welcome to BaseTradeTV. Hello?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, this Liberator's big.
Yeah, it's huge. I actually would have loved if it stayed there. Got some more lava before it left. Anyway.
Well, that would have been good too, but I was going to say, Liberators in their Liberation Zone vision were nerfed, of course, in the more recent patch, and that's part of why they fell off. But this saw the hive, and that's what really matters for this. If this had set up in the Mineral Alliance in the very, very back, you may not have actually seen it, so confirming hive tech is out, this is important for a couple of details. One is like, okay, maybe there's a danger of Broodlords, maybe there's a danger of Vultures. He hasn't scouted anything, there's nothing to worry about just yet, but there are going to be Vipers, which means there are going to be Blinding Clouds, which means he has to control his army significantly better. He has to spread tanks out, he can't just clump them up. There's a lot of red flags that just went on for Cure, and he has to be paying attention to them. Yeah,
scanning here and getting rid of those creep tumors, and I mean, he's getting servos here to help out the Hellions and into the Hellbat transition, and obviously the Vikings for their leapfrogging, but it's mainly for the Hellions.
I would actually disagree with that though, and while I think yes, you're right in terms of like it has been mainly for the Hellions, I'm seeing more and more usage out of this benefiting the Vikings. Landing to dodge the parasitic bomb immediately was something TY was doing a lot yesterday, and it made me so aware how much damage you save with smart servos by doing that instead of trying to run away, split, and do all this crazy micro. So I'm actually thinking these upgrades, yes, they're great for the Hellions and Hellbats, but usually you don't have these transforming in the middle of battle, but the Vikings are transforming in the middle of battle, which is making this look so cool as an upgrade for them specifically.
Yeah, I agree. Like the Vikings and the Hellion transition is thickest. Yeah, Servos isn't a super expensive upgrade either, so you kind of just get it with mech. That's a lot of tanks. Oh god.
That is. Oh, man, I gotta use yellow more. Yellow's looking really good today, man.
Yeah, I might equip yellow tomorrow for my stream. Oh, we got a not a concave of Zerg, but an attempt at a cave get kind of met with a mech to the face here. The Vipers can get blinding clouds as the tanks are quite stacked up.
The Vikings also don't pick them off. A little bit too late. The tanks are going to go down. He's not even going to get the last Viper for it.
That's a dismal engagement there for Cure. Got caught again.
Not got obliterated. Now, I don't know if this will push into a win, but you know what's crazy about this? For Cure, that attack was meant to go pressure Rogue. Rogue's now going to get away with 5 bases and casually get up to Greater Spire instead of being pressured while getting up to Greater Spire. Looks like he did get that Viper, by the way, so consolation prize.
Yeah, but I think he might die to this push.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Hydras. Like, yes, he has tanks and Rogue's being very, very careful, but I think he's, like, being over-careful. I think he could actually just kill Rogue now.
Oh, no. Rogue got supply blocked on max supply. Feels so bad for him right now.
Oh, my God! What a newbie!
Okay, gets a little bit too close for comfort as he is fighting right in the range of the planetary fortress. That repair of the SCVs was good. Rogue's got, like, we're making jokes, but Rogue does have to be careful not to throw here because he's in such a commanding position. To give this all away by running into a planetary would be just devastating.
Yeah, I mean, Rogue's in a beautiful position right now. I mean, look at his bank, look at his supply in general. But, you know, a woeful engagement or two could certainly swing this around for Cure. And it's going to be up to him. It's up to Cure to win this game here. He's going to be against the ropes for sure, against one of the best Zergs in the whole world. So it's a tough mountain to climb. Great Aspire being chosen here as the next tech step for Rogue. So obviously that's a lot better than Ultras against mechs. So good choice, tier 3. Some Zergs just chill on Hydra with Viper, but I feel like Broodlords are just going to be better in the long run. So I support it.
Broodlords have been requesting some odd, I guess, answers. Obviously, you can't just go Vikings. Thors match them in range. We actually got to see a lot of these interactions yesterday, Solar versus TY. If you guys missed both of those series, they were so sick. TY even pulling out these like carpet bomb strats, like load the Widow Mines, the Drilling Claws into the Medevacs, get those underneath the Broodlords. There's a lot of ways to have to deal with this, but the problem is none of them are ever going to be that efficient for the Terran. Broodlords force bad engagements. It's just about minimizing how bad that engagement goes.
3 Hellions in here. I think they have Blue Flame running in to try and pick off some drones. That's servos, though.
That's servos, though. If this is still the larva, that might be more effective than the drones, frankly, but saw the timing of the Greater Spire, so now knows that's going to be in play. And I don't know. He's got the second starport coming down. I guess he should have... No one ever wants to go Vikings, Maynard, I feel is the motto of Terran.
Yeah, they want Thors with high impact payload, I think, is the choice of the day, or the choice of the week here for Terrans. Oh, Cure, please don't be caught unsieged again. Scans ahead, sees that army, sees it's moving back, sees that there's 1 or 2 Vipers with this army, and that's what the Vikings are looking for. He wants to pick off a Viper before Rogue responds. Okay,
so we're already seeing better spreads out of Cure this time. This was a little bit why he took such a bad engagement last time. The Vipers only needed 3 Blinding Clouds to kill all the tanks. Now he's leapfrogging forward 2-1. Like, it's not going to get that one big blast that kills all the Zerg, but it's going to make sure that you don't lose all your tanks. He's not landing the Vikings, though, instead. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Saves them barely, but...
I was a little surprised because he pulled back one of the parasitic bombs Vikings into the rest of his Vikings. Huh?
Oh, we got Drilling Claws coming up, Maynard. We might just see some more cool, sick moves emulating TY.
Yeah, this is sick. And that's actually a really, like, funnily enough, it's quite good against Broodlords. There we go. Archery goes down. This is really tough to engage. The Vikings doing a lot of damage. They can jump out of the sky in a second's notice. The high impact Thors, of course, as well, doing damage on the ground and the air. Oh, no, he's been caught unsieged again!
And if he sieges up now, he's going to be clumped. He knows it. He might be better off just staying unsieged, frankly.
I agree.
So he can walk out of the Blinding Clouds.
Just 2 and 3 and start a step with the rest of the tanks.
That said, though, with
move. Yeah, he certainly is. He's got a reinforcement. Does he have enough, though? The Hydras are doing insane damage output. The tanks are cleared from the Blinding Clouds now. Is there enough here to be able to deal with everything on the ground? Looks like the answer is yes, but can he deal with the Broodlords just with 2 Thors?
You know what? He's got a medevac there. He absolutely could. Just micro the Thors out of the Broodlings and put them right on that focus fire, but Cure's going to fall back entirely. Now, he's got that sort of payload set up and good to go. Where are those Widow Mines? It's only got a couple out so far. Okay, so nothing close to TY's 12 at a time, but he's getting there.
Give him time. No one can be as TY as TY.
Dude, I just realized, by the way, between you, Jibby, Jane, Wade, like, we actually got this awesome Australian crew. When are y'all gonna get together for like a barcraft, man? Send us some pictures.
Oh, dude, we're all over the country, man. I think I know Jane's in Sydney, Wade's in Adelaide, I'm in Adelaide. I don't know where Jibby is, but yeah, it's tough. We got WCS coming up though in January, which is a lot of the Australians will fly to.
Nice. Also nice out of this tank too, holds pretty well.
Yeah.
It's got those medevacs out. They're boosting around scouting. Not a bad way to use them, but he's got to make sure he doesn't lose too many because he will need these to drag and drop. Healing's not a factor here. This is absolutely just a transport situation.
Yes, indeed, dude. Yeah. It's got a bunch of those Hellions ready for the dunkage. These medevacs are just killing themselves, I think. Like, what are they doing here? Jebaiting?
Oh, I got that repair on the planetary.
Yeah, with repair, the planetary should win against these Hydras.
I have to get focus fire some SCVs. It won't be too bad. Rogue is trying to give these away for supply, by the way. This isn't like, oh my god, what a mistake. He's throwing away the Hydras. Like, he really is just trying to get some damage done while he trades out for better supplies. He goes towards more and more Broodlords. But that's where these Widow Mines are going to become more important than ever. My fear, though, and this might be a problem for Cure, he's actually not reproducing a lot of Hellions right now. And while Thors are great, Thors are garbage at dealing with Broodlings, you need to have like a good 5 or 6 Hellbats washing those Broodlings off the Thors while they get business done.
Also, it's funny to see like some of the Thors are in high impact payload mode and some of them in explosive payload mode. Still a bit funny.
I think part of it's just like the freshly made ones. You don't transform them automatically, but medevacs have been used for scouting. He's been pretty consistently just boosting around looking for the Broodlords. I think this is kind of cool. I like this a lot. But one of the things that Rogue's going to need to do, Solar did this. That was a really good response. Hydras and Broodlords and Broodlings, they don't have the damage to kill the Widow Mines before they burrow. Banelings do. So getting Banelings out for Cure to stop those Widow Mines is going to be of the essence.
Actually, like, every time a Thor kills 3 Hydras, that's like the cost of a Thor, man. It's a good job there from Cure. Killed a hatchery as well. All these medevacs loaded up. I mean, I'm sure getting rid of those other medevacs wasn't a mistake. You got to free up some supply for the more effective units.
Oh no! I just realized Rogue he shifted his focus here to relying on the Broodlords, but he's got no melee upgrades. These Broodlings, good luck dealing Thors have 5 armor. They're gonna take no damage from the Broodlings.
The Thors can actually win this engagement. Oh my god, that thing evaporated! Holy shit!
Good balance, Terran, please, Blizzard. Alright, Widow Mine's coming down.
Oh, here we go!
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag floating through the wind, waiting to start again? This was an amazing display of fireworks, and Cure's gonna follow this up by sniping off the rest of them with those Thors.
That was so sick. Flag value off the chart, and it was effective as well. The army supply has plummeted for Rogue, but he's replenishing here with 46 Hydras. Hydras are pretty damn good. There's not too many tanks left in this army.
Still, though, chewing through the Thors is going to be difficult, because regardless of how many Hydras there are, they still don't hit the Thors for all that much. That high armor value on the Thors is going to go really well here. That being said, more Hellions, more tanks, like, there's a lot of really cheap units compared to Hydras that Cure can get going here. 2 tanks and a wall of Blue Flame Hellions. Good luck, Hydras.
That's it. He's trying to get a big concave to close the Zerg jaws here on the Terran Mech army, and he is starting to push him up against a wall.
Oh, the
literally and figuratively. Huge blinding clouds here. The engagement on the ground. Will they follow through this tank line, though? Yeah, it's just way too many Hydras.
This ends up being a really good fight for Rogue, but it still might be his last. Cure's still sitting on a huge bank and so many bases, and these Hydras have to go through planetaries. This is where that Rotary Max comes into play, to be the sort of buffer for set Hydras, but this means anything Cure makes going forward is so good against Roaches.
And if Cure takes a bad engagement, the game may just end for Cure. Like, for Rogue, rather. Because, like you mentioned, the bank is pretty much non-existent here for the Zerg. His income is abysmal as well. The Terran is making more production here because he's actually, as a Terran, it's tough to spend your bank, whereas a Zerg just has that lava. So he's actually going to take a lot of damage here, and he could potentially lose.
No! He's just been farming drone kills on the long-distance mining. 2 Hellies just killed 17 drones, so Cure. Yeah, he killed a base and 13 SCVs, but he lost so much. Or Rogue did, excuse me, but, oh, man. I didn't even realize, but the Cure's taking the 3 gas base. This doesn't happen often, but this is a great base for Terran to have. Yeah,
especially if you're meching. Very, very good. 3 of those guys is kicking in. He hasn't got full saturation, but that's a lot of Blue Flame Hellions looking for a very, very hurt economy. The Zerg economy is already pretty bad. Now it's worse.
Yeah, Rogue really can't afford to have to make 14, 20, 25 drones. In fact, he doesn't even have the bases for this. 32 drones, funny enough, might be okay for saturation just because he doesn't have any bases mining, but that's the problem. He needs more bases mining. Resources lost as well, not exactly super crazy. They're actually kind of close in that regard because, as we saw, Cure took an awful army engagement, but that back-end economy, these Hellion run-bys, the harassment for the Blue Flame has been winning this game.
I think there is enough drone barbecue here for everyone in chat. I think that's plenty of drone meat to get around. Do you like it well done?
Now we can host that Australian get-together.
That's right. Anyone want some barbecue? Oh my god, this high ground is pretty brutal. The Zerg can hit that mineral line and also the gases from up here, but Cure can reinforce. I mean, oh man, dude, years and years ago, I'm talking like a decade and a bit, Coldplay wrote a song about this minimap. It's all yellow. Look at this. It's absolutely everywhere.
I was like, where are you possibly going with this? I love it. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, these siege tanks getting so much damage in as well. I think this might be the last engagement of the game.
Yeah, the blind cloud's come way too late. There's too many Vikings in the sky. They need to land to be the buffer for the tanks. Join those Hellbats. There's those smart servos. And the tanks, well, there's just an endless supply of them behind it. GG.